Hey, what's doing YouTube? And welcome back to episode number 2 of my 2021 bodybuilding prep for the IFBB Pro League. And the video that we're looking at here is about 10 weeks out. So the dates have now been set for the competitions. So I know exactly which competitions that I'm going to be aiming for. The only trouble is restrictions with travel, but definitely the 28th of February in 2021 is going to be the state show for the New South Wales IFBB titles. So that's the show that we're aiming for here. So this is 10 weeks out. Already making good progress. About 91 kilos here. So still looking pretty full and with a little bit more detail coming through. So very happy with progress at the moment, and strength is still up, which is something that I want to talk to in this video a bit later on. But everything looking good with my physique. Still a lot of work to do. I've got 10 weeks, so just want to keep maintaining the drop in body fat. The main problem area for me is always the lower back and glutes area, so that's the main area that I sort of focus on. But each week I analyze my physique and make sure that I can see that little bit more detail coming through each time. So the body weight is staying up, which is a good thing. It's a good indication that I've put on some muscle. If I'm still 91 kilos now and the fat's still dropping, it's a good indication that it was a productive off season. Last time I competed, I would have been about 88 kilos, and then after dropping water, I'd be 85. I could get under 85. So the goal this year would be to try and stay close to 90 kilos as much as possible, as I'm still gaining size and strength as I go through my prep. That's one thing about my body. I never can really go by the scale because it doesn't change much. I'm not someone that drops 10 kilos for a competition. It's always just stayed around the same or even increased as I've gone along in my prep. So in a good position now, 91 kilos, probably 93 kilos after a Refeed day, which I'll talk about later in this video. But the one thing that I really want to talk about in this video is the mentality of training during prep. So even though you're very fatigued and pretty much exhausted all the time, the goal with training is to still, like in your off season, have a better session than the week before. So my strength gains are at an all-time high at the moment, and that's what I want. I want to still have the mentality going into the gym that I'm going to have a better workout than I did the previous week, even though I'm feeling a little bit fatigued and maybe not feeling the best for training. It's very important to still have that mindset that you're gonna break some records with your lifts. So this is 190 kilos with the squat, and I got 3 reps here, which is a personal record for me. So that's what I mean. During the prep, you should still be setting goals and getting strength gains, at least until the last month. Last month probably focused more on hypertrophy. But so this was a good workout for me. I got 2 sets of 190, so I've never done that before. But the next workout, I intend to get even better than that. And then my back down work as well. So this was 170 for 6, which is also a personal record. But the best I did with 6 before this was probably 160 kilos. So big thanks to Mum, Paul Zaitis, who got me onto strength training. I think when we had a session, I think 170 for 1 was the best squat I'd ever done. That was a little under a year ago. So the squat has really progressed with my training, and a big thanks to him. He's been a mate for a long time, and has got some great advice. He also runs some seminars with Mike Pearson on squatting, deadlifting, and benching, which are definitely worth checking out in Paddington in Sydney. If you hit them up on Instagram at Barbell Brothers, you'll find all their details. But this is the deadlift, so 4 reps with 200. So the goal by the end of the prep would probably be to get 5 reps with 200. Deadlifts hasn't improved as much as the squat. I still have a few problems with glutes being a little bit weak, but still improving all the time. And then it was 180 for 8 reps, and I got 2 sets of this. So this again is a personal record. You know, if I can get 10 reps with 180 by the end of prep, that would be ideal. So I'm just going to have to keep pushing, even though I really don't feel like doing this. But once you get into the training, and I sip my P2P from Gentech, which really helps. It's got intra-workout carbs. Once I get into it, I'm fine. It's just having the mentality that you're going to break the records in the gym. And then the last thing that I'll touch on in this video is refeed days. So I see a lot of people sort of mess up their refeed days, but I'll just give you an example of a days full of eating on my refeed days, which are normally Sunday. And the first meal that we're looking at is a standard breakfast for me. So I have the 2 whole eggs, but the main thing is the rice flakes. I go up to 75 grams with the rice flakes. So that's about 60 grams of carbs, which is reasonable for me. In the off season, I probably could go up to 100 grams of rice flakes. So mainly just focus on the carbs in this meal. The other stuff that I have in there is cucumber, tomatoes, sauerkraut, onions, you know, just to give you a bit more flavour, and the kiwi fruit on the rice flakes. So the rice flakes can probably get down to about 50 grams during the week. And then on the way to the gym, just something that I crave is just some rye sourdough bread with peanut butter and honey at a local cafe in Marrickville that I frequent. Then the post-workout meal for that day was kangaroo, and again 75 grams of rice, and then again 1 kiwi fruit as well for that meal, and then the other stuff that I normally have in my meals. Then the next meal was again 75 grams of rice. So as the day goes on, it's mostly carbs. I think it was kangaroo again for this meal. So really I'm just trying to get carbs, good clean carbs in each meal, and I'm throwing in a lot of veggies as well. Next meal was chicken and rice with some beetroot in there as well. So trying to get lots of good quality food for my refeeds, and just slightly higher calorie intake on the day. And then the last meal of the day, just go to a restaurant with a mate. I go to Jasmine's in Leichhardt, and just get a simple lamb and rice meal, and that's my full sort of carb up day on Sunday. I always keep it on Sunday because it's the end of the week, and it stops any chance. Like if you did it Friday night, I definitely would keep cheating throughout the weekend. So that's the wrap up of the video, episode number 2. Hopefully you guys keep following me along until I compete in February. Until then, I'll catch you guys again soon.